Hello guys, hello, good day. Welcome to today's class. In today's class we are going to be talking about Airtable, right? We are going to be talking about Airtable, what it is for, what exactly is Airtable, how you can use it, and so many other things. We are also going to be building at least two projects. By the end of this Airtable class or this video, you will definitely be a pro in Airtable. You will be able to know your way around it and how it works. Now let's dive into it. Look at the interface you are seeing. You can see, you go to your browser, you type airtable.com. Look at it right there in my browser. It will bring you to this interface. Now once you are in this interface, you can see some other things you can look at if you want to, but look at your right hand side, the book demo and sign up for free. You can also see login button to log in if you already have an account. Now down side here, see get started for free and see book demo too, right? Now if you want to sign up for the very first time, either you click on sign up for free or you click on get started for free. They are the same thing. Now for the login, if you already have an account like me, you can just log in. Let me show you what I mean. So if you click on get started for free, see where it brought you, right? Your work email, just your normal email. Don't get confused when they say work email. Your normal email, or if you already have your Gmail or Google account signed in on this browser, you can sign in with or sign up with Google. And once you do that, look at it, you just click on sign up with Google. It brings out your Google account. I have up to how many emails signed in on my browser, so you can select any of the one you want to use it to sign up. And if you just select this one, I already have an account, it will just take me to my dashboard. You can see that, right? So that's basically it. So if yours didn't go like that, just follow the steps and the things it brings out, and you will find yourself successfully signed up. If there's any specific questions or anything, you can drop it in the comment section or reach out to me. Now once you are able to successfully sign up and log in, this is the interface you are going to be seeing on your Airtable. Mind you, look at this place here. You see this opened anytime. This past 7 days, you see that this particular year is that all of these things under it, client inquiry, are projects I are already built for other students. So if this is your first time coming to Airtable and you have actually not built anything, you won't see that, right? It will just be empty for you. The only thing you'll be seeing on this home is just this home here and this upgrade. That's all, just so you know. Now let's dive into understanding this interface you are seeing on Airtable. Firstly, look at your left hand side, that three lines. That thing is your sidebar collapser. When you click on it, it collapses it. Click on it, it opens it up, right? That's what it does. Now come over to this side. Look at this search bar. You see where my icon is, right? Look at that. This is where you can search for your recent projects. In Airtable we call it base. In Airtable we call it base, just like in Zapier we call it Zap. Any project you want to build, any automation you want to build, in Airtable we call it base, right? So you can search for any base. After you can see my recent base. If I don't see any of them here, I can just search for it. You can see that, right? So that's basically what that search is for. Now the next thing is down here. Look at your right hand side. Look at where my cursor is. This one is to ask for help, ask the community, contact sales. When you fill the form, they reach out to you anytime later, maybe if you have any specific issue. And the next thing is your notification. In case you have any, you can see that some of my automations that failed, you can see they gave me notifications May 11, May 9 and all of that, right? You can see it's 4. You can see the 4 at the top of that icon. It means I have 4 unread notifications. Now aside that, look at this one behind the notification. You can see the 0 icon. That means that O is the beginning of my name, is my profile. When you click on it, this is it. It brings out your name, your account. You can manage group. This is for people that's upgraded. Notification referee, you can set it up as well. It's not like your account setting. You can set it up as you want. Now that being said, let's move over to the left hand side again. The menu, the sidebar. The first one is home. When you click on it, this is what you are going to be seeing in your home. You are already in your home. The second one is start. So let me show you. If you have added any project to your favorite or start, you will see it under this start. Let me show you. This is one of the bases that I built, right? If I click on this star, did you see it appeared under the start? Exactly. So that's your start. If you have started any project, that's where you will see them. Now for the shared, when you are building a base on Airtable, you will be able to share with somebody. So any project you've shared with somebody will appear in shared. Now workspaces, we have something that we call, let me open it. I have some work. Don't wonder what I clicked on to see all of that. Workspace, see how it looks like, right? Look at this arrow here. Is to expand it, just like this start is to expand it. Click on the arrow here, it will expand it for you. Do you understand? Exactly. So for the workspaces, if I didn't have added any project to my start, if I expand it now, see, are you seeing? It will show the project I've added. Now workspaces, I have to, let me take this out of start. Workspaces, if I click on this, it will show all the workspaces I've created. Now what exactly is this workspace? So when you are creating a base, let's assume you are creating bases for like up to 3 companies. You want to organize them. You want to put each base in each company profile or in each company workspace, so that tomorrow maybe the third company comes and say, where is the base you built for me? You will not have to come and start looking for all of them in one workspace. You just open the base, the actual workspace where you built their base, right, or created their base, and you find it. More like organizing your work. That's what that workspace is there for. If you want to create a new one, click on this plus here. You see, you can just give it a name, and you can also delete it if you want. So you can see the ones I've created: Easy Code, DV Academy, private classes, my first workspace. If you don't want to create, it's still fine. Just know that is what it is for. Now after that, you can see templates and apps. This is for you to see already existing templates that you can click on and edit it or customize it to match the actual base that you want to build, right? The marketplace is something that you don't need to know right now, but I think that's where you can buy. I know that's where you can buy some templates and all of that. So the next thing is import. Is also important. So if you had a client or you have a client that want you to build something for them on Airtable, and they already have the data stored elsewhere, maybe in a CSV file, in a spreadsheet or something like that, right? So if they already have that data somewhere, they can just give it to you, right? When they give it to you, you will need to import it so you can be able to use it in Airtable. So that's what that import is for. Now for the create button, look at that create button. That is if you want to create a base. As I told you, if you want to create a base, you click on this create, and you will be able to do what? Create a base, right? So if you click on that create there, you will see what comes up: the build an app and build an app on your own, right? So this build an app is like if you want to build the app with their AI. So in Airtable we have Omni AI. I will show you all of that in a while, right? We are getting to there. So the best thing for the purpose of this class is always click on this create. Make sure you click on build an app on your own. Let's start from scratch. Let's build it and learn how to build it. Let's not go and say let's build an app, quickly create a custom app with data. No, we don't want AI to do it for us. We want to build it ourselves. Mind you, before you can build any app, because I already created folders, workspaces as it is called in Airtable, you can, if you understand it to be folders, it's still fine, right? Before I can click on anything here, see, are you seeing what is showing me here? Please select a workspace, meaning that I must click here to select either of those my 3 workspace. So we will select Easy Code. That is where we want this project to be on, right? So when you select a workspace, you can see that this build an app becomes build an app with Omni. You see that is now properly displayed well. Now click on build an app on your own, and look at the interface we have. It's still loading though. Now look at the interface we have right there, right? So that is the interface we should have, and we will always what have. That's what the interface does. right? So let me start by the from the right hand side, or let's start from the left hand side to explain this. It is not hard. Don't look at it as something that is hard, right? At your left hand side, look at that. Are you seeing that black icon? When I keep my cursor, it turns to this, right? Exactly. That is to take you back to home. Let's click on it. Did you see where it brought us back? Did you see that? And the base that we just clicked on to create is still untitled, abi? That is it there. We click on it again, it brings us back to this place. So the second icon on the left side here is close omni. Look at what omni is. Look at it here. You can see it's an AI that you can ask for help. You can type anything, but this AI is basically, maybe if you want to create a new table, rename your table, add a column for you. That's basically what it does, right? So if you click on that close omni, it closes the AI for you. You see, open it, it opens it up for you, and that's it. Then the next thing, just like in ChatGPT, you've chatted and you want to open a new chat to ask new question. You can click on new chat. You can see all the chat, all the questions you've asked, and that's it with this left side bar, right? Remember, you can close your omni if you want to have enough space for yourself, right? You can open it back. Now let's come into the middle, let's call it middle interface that we are looking at right here. Look at this untitled base. So the moment you click on create base on your own, Airtable automatically gives it a name for you. Untitled what? Base. So you now will decide to give it what? A name. Based on our project we are going to be building today is a student tracker, the first project. So we are going to be giving it class student tracker, right? Let's just, because I think I already have a student tracker project here, so you can just call it class student tracker, right? So now we have just renamed our base. You can either click aside or you click enter, and it has been renamed. Now look at this base. Are you seeing the things the interface is there? If we close this omni, look at the interface. You can see this here under the class student tracker. You can see table 1. Airtable automatically assigned you a table. Now look at this. It's in table 1, and it is not only table 1. Look here, look at where my cursor is. It's in grid view, and in grid view means the way you are seeing it like this. It like columns and rows. That is what we mean by grid view. Like name, notes, assignee, status, attachment. You see, these things are columns and these are rows, right? So that is what green view is. So it's Airtable automatically creates a table. In fact, before we continue, let me explain to you what Airtable is. Airtable is not an automation tool. Before I forget, Airtable is not an automation tool. It is a smart database. In fact, the little automation in Airtable is limited. Airtable is not an automation tool. It is a smart database. As I told you, it's a smart database. It's more like spreadsheet, Excel sheet. The only difference between Airtable and all of this is that it's smart. In Airtable, you can create a form that when somebody fills, it automatically stores in your table. In Airtable, you can automate your data. The data is in your table. You can automate it like we are going to do that, so you see. So these are the little features. You can do an interface that displays the data that you are seeing here as a grid view. These data you are seeing here, you can build an interface that will display it properly the way your customer or your client or the company you're working for understands and sees it. That is what the power of Airtable. That is why it is so different from Excel, spreadsheet, any other table you can think of. So Airtable is a smart database. You will mainly, as AI automation specialist, what we mainly use Airtable for is to store our data, not automation, except it's a specific requirement from a client or from a company, right? I hope that makes sense. Now let's return back to what I was explaining. Look at that table 1. It's an automatic table given to you when you create a base, and the name is given table 1. But look at behind it. Are you seeing the arrow down there facing downward? The first arrow facing downward. If you click on it, see the things you can do on this table. You can rename the table. you can hide this table. Manage feed is for people that's upgraded. Now you can duplicate this table. Configure data dependencies is for people that's upgraded. You can edit table description. You can edit table permission. These are people that's upgraded. You can import, as I told you, that import what it does. When you are done creating table here, you can just, if you want to import maybe already existing data from a spreadsheet, CSV file, Excel, and all of that, you can come here and do what? Import them into this particular table, and all those data will automatically live in here, right? So now in our case, we want to rename that table. Let's rename it to students. Click save, and we have, are you seeing, we have just renamed the table. Now look at this other arrow here, all tables. You see that arrow, the second one, it says all tables. When I click on it, I can create a new table. By adding add table, start from, don't go and build with omini, just start from scratch, and I will add a new table. You see that? Or I can click on this plus, start from scratch. Oh no, I don't want to add a new table. All right, let's just save it. Let's delete it soon. You know where I clicked on, right? That arrow down there. Yes, click on delete table, delete. Yes, let's keep only one table. So that is what those two are for, and that is how you can create a new table. Now let's return back to our grid view I was explaining to you. Grid view means it should show in this form, in this way, columns and rows. That's what grid view is, right? And for table and storing of data, it is always best to have it in grid view. And now, just like I told you, we have so many things we can also do in Airtable aside from storing and automation and interface and forms. See, you can if you don't want it to be in grid view, there are so many other view that you can create. See, if you click on this create new, you can see. If you want it to be in calendar, maybe you are building something that has to do with calendar. You want the calendar interface, not this interface, which is what we don't need now. You want it to be in gallery form, Kanban, timeline, which is for somebody that has upgraded, list, Gantt, form, and all of that, right? You can create those views. That's what that create new is for. Now let me show you. Look at these three lines again here. When you click on it, it will close this sidebar you're seeing. Click on it. Did you see that bar has closed? Are you seeing that? If you go back there again, it should open it exactly. You see? So if you want to just focus only on your table, you don't want any outside distraction, you can close both the omini and that sidebar and you are good. Now let's come into the table. So you can see we have columns, name, notes, assignee. These are automatically given to you by Airtable when you create a new base. Even when you create a new table, these are automatic columns. So we can delete them and add our own or edit it. Right? We are coming back to that. Now come down to this side. Look at this. Are you seeing hide feed, filter, group, sort, color? You are seeing that, Abi? Now what is that hide feed for? When you click on hide feed, assuming you have a password feed here where you store people's password, and you don't want somebody to come in and see that feed, right? So they don't copy people's password. You can just select, let's say the note is the password. Click on it. You can see that that feed is hidden, and it shows one hidden feed. Click on it again, click on that note again, and it is no longer hidden. So that's what that hide feeds is used for. The next thing is filter. Just like you already know, if you want to filter something, like let's say you have up to 100 records of data, right? And you want to just filter only the record that their status are maybe successful, right? So when you click on filter, you see what is showing here. Add condition, how you want to filter it. Click on add condition. If you want to filter maybe somebody that their name contains IO, click on name contains what? Let's say IO. You see, it shows filtered by name. And even we have data here and we have somebody that their name is IO, has IO, it will filter only those people. So that's what that filter is. And when you are done, you can delete it. Look at this, delete here, and you are good. So that's what that filter is used for. Now the next thing is group, right? So if you want to group your record by status, maybe group them by status to do, group them by all of that. So that's when you can use that group. And the sort, of course, when you want to fetch data for, let's say data is displaying right now from the oldest, right? When you add data here, 1, 2 from the oldest, right? not from the recent. So if you want to display from the recent one, which should be at the fourth or the third one, you just do sort. It will sort it, you get, based on the names and all of that. Color is more like for upgraded people that's upgraded, more like you want to color your sectors or anything, just want to give it a specific color. And that is it with all of these things you see here. Now when I told you that if we share the project with somebody, you see it in the shared. Remember when we were explaining the home interface? See it here, you can share this project with somebody. You can just invite them by email and you are good. All right, so sorry for that break in transmission. So you can just invite them by, you can invite them by email. You can share to web or any other thing, right? And that is it with this table. Now something else I need to explain to you is this. So look at these columns. Let's assume that these columns are not what you want. They are not what you want at all. So you click on this. If you keep your cursor on any of the column, keep your cursor on any of them, you can see the arrow down is dropping, abi? Click on that arrow. Are you seeing that? You can edit this feed, you can duplicate it, you can insert, you can do so many other things, and most importantly you can delete it. Now let's even assume we want to, let's not even edit yet. Let's click on it. You can see this came up too. Click on it, you can delete feed, right? Click on this one, scroll down, delete the feed. Click on it, scroll down, delete it. Click on it, scroll down, delete. Now let's see, based on the project we want or we plan to build today, a student tracker should have student name, email, task title, status, we should have to do, in progress, and done option, and due date, right? So let's even assume we want to edit this name to student name, right? We click on this plus, see edit feed, you click on it, and what do? You can see the name and the what we have as feed type, right? That name you can change it to student name as you want. Name. Now the next thing is, you see this, we call it feed type. So if you are doing student name, unless you want to collect email, you cannot allow somebody to come and put in a test for you in the name of email, right? Hope you know that. So that is why feed type is important. So if you are collecting phone number, you want to make sure that it is phone number you select. So when the person puts in a test or something, Airtable will not allow you to store. They will only store phone number. Do you understand? So in terms of student name, it's test we need. We don't need them to put in phone number for us. So what we are going to be selecting, there are so many other type here, feed type here, but the one that matches name, we know his name, so it's usually not more than 50 letters. It's not going to be long text because we are not asking for description or notes where we know they can write up to 1000 characters or alphabet, right? So for a single line, we use single line text. It's a name we are collecting, remember. Now that is our feed type. We click on save, and you can see we've changed the student's name, right? So for this note, we can want to edit it too. Edit feed. You can see the type is long text, because note, of course, somebody can want to write in notes explaining how things are done and how they get something done, and it can take up to 1000 words, remember. So our own case, we want to put in student email, or let's say email. The long text, we move it, look for mail, because if you use single line text, mind you, you are risking somebody giving you a name, an invalid email. In fact, I can just write in Princess Priska in my email feed. That is not even a valid email. Now where it will cause issue is that when you want to automate it, and then maybe your this is sending email to everybody that has filled the form, or you have their record, when Airtable gets to the part of sending email to this particular person, it will flag it as invalid email, and it will stop there, and other people you are supposed to send email to will not get the mail. So that's why it's very necessary to select a feed type to ensure that what you want is what was saved. So scroll down, find email, look at email here, right? We select that. Now save. We have just edited the note to become email. Now according to this project, we need to add student name, email, task title, status, and due date. So how do you add an extra feed, right? So for you to add an extra feed, look at that plus there, like, right? Look at that plus. Are you seeing it? When I keep my cursor there, it shows add feed. That's what it means. Click on it. Did you see what it brought out? You don't need to think about it too much. The first thing it says is find a feed type. Do you not understand that? So it's not telling you to put in the name of the feed though, just like student name, email. You need to select the feed type first before anything happens. Do you understand that? So if you don't remember the feed type you need, just keep scrolling down. Just keep scrolling until you find the one that matches what you want. Now you want to put task title, which single line text is okay, right? It's more like a name. It can never be more than 30 words. We don't want it even if it's going to be. So single line text is okay. And once you select that, look at what came up. Now you're not allowed to put what? Your feed name. You see that, right? Paste. And that's your feed name, right? And you can just click on what? Create. And you have just created a new feed. Is that easy? That simple. Airtable is easy. You just have to calm down to understand it. Now the next thing, click on this plus again. You see it says find feed type again. Now according to this project, it says status, right? That's the next thing we are going to add. But look at what is inside the bracket here. Status, it says to do, in progress, and done, which means that the status, they are only allowed to choose just 3 status, either to do, progress, or done. So nobody is allowed to come and start giving us about to start, almost ending. Nobody is allowed to give us that. So we have to give them that 3 option that they are only allowed to select. Now how do we do it in this case? Because when we click on add feed, that plus, it says find a feed type. So we need to know the feed type that will allow us to select this option, right? So that when these people are filling the form, or when they are storing data, if they don't give us to do, in progress, or done, we won't save it or we won't allow it. Airtable will not allow it. So which feed type should we choose now? Let's scroll down, see multiple select and see single select. That's what we are looking for. What does multiple select do? Have you, in a case where you are filling form online and you have to select like 3 options that matches what you want? Like maybe they say, which of these platforms do you have experience with? Airtable. Select any one of them that you have experience with. Select any one of them that you have experience with, right? Any one of them is okay. In that case, you will select multiple select, because they are going to select like Zapier, NXN, Make. They are going to select any one of them. Hope you know. So that is the case. But in this case, they are not allowed to select more than one option. Your task cannot be. There's no way your task is going to be more than 2 status now. 2 status, like is in to do and is also in progress. No, right? So that's why we need single select, which they are allowed to select just one. Now when you click on it, it tells you to do what? Put in the feed name, which is what? Status. Now don't go and click on create. Remember your condition. You need to add option for them to select from. Remember that. Now in that case, all you need to do is read what is written here. Look at add option. Are you seeing that? Add option. Click on it. You see, brought out something for you to put in there. Now the first one says to do, but it says in progress and done. We are not yet done, abi? So we need to add extra 2 options. Click on add option again. In progress. Now we have another one to add, done. Click on add option again, done. So this is how you keep clicking add option until you have added up the necessary options that you want them to select from, and you are good. After adding that, click on create, and that's it. If you click on this, look at this empty row here under status. Click on it. Are you seeing the arrow down there? Click on it. You see, that is the option they are only allowed to put in for us. Now that's not all. The task says after the status, we are adding due date. Due date. Now click on the plus again. The feed type for due date, we cannot go and be selecting single line text now. Somebody can just come and write text instead of giving us an actual date. You see, so we can't risk it. And we have a date field type here, so we select it and put in due date as in name. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything aside from this. Then click on create, and you can see that you have just successfully created a student table with the columns that you want. So this is how easy Airtable is. This is how easy Airtable what is. You don't have to stress yourself, right? Now after this, you can see that everything we have been doing here, we have been under data. Are you seeing that? We have been under data. So whenever you want to see your table, create new table, put in data inside your table, always be under data. That's where you find them. Don't go under automation and you're expecting to be seeing your table. You know, be like, I cannot see table. No, make sure this, you can see automation under it is blue, abi. Make sure that blue is under data. That's the only way you can see table. Add as many tables as you want, put as many columns as you want, customize it to your desire. That's number one. Now that aside, what else? Look at these rows here. You can see that by automatically or by default, when you create a new table, these empty rows are added for you. Now if you want to add row again, let's say somebody fills a form, Airtable will not start putting those data from here. It will go and start from D plus. That means you start from ID 4. This 1 2 3 remains empty. Now if you allow it like that, in your, let's say bid for a client and give them a form to start filling, once they start filling, this 1 2 3 will be empty. And at times when you are doing automation, you might just select, I will show you that when we are automating, a record that is the first or second one that is empty, and automation might never runs. So for me to be on the safer side, I always do what? Keep my cursor on this first one, tick it like this, tick, tick, and tick. Even though you can't delete the last one unless you have added another data. I just leave the first one, and then I keep my cursor right in here, and then I do right click, and then I delete it. Just so I'm on a safer side. I can even manually put in data myself, so that I can do my automation without issues, right? So just so you know, we can now use Prisca. We can use which email, so we can get the mail actually. All right, the task type too, we can be register form. The progress, we can leave it in to do. The due date, how about when you double, you remember his date we selected, abi? When you double click, it bring out this date for you to select. So let's say this due date, let's say we make it yesterday. Let's say yesterday was their due date. We need that for our automation. That's why I'm selecting yesterday. Right? If you want to give a due date, you can give any due date of your choice. All right, so with that being done, we have just feed data right now into this first one. Now let's move on to automation. Click on automation. Look at what came out. Now if you're already familiar with Zapier, you will know that in every automation you set your trigger and you set your action. And trigger is what should happen, the condition that should be met before what your automation happens. And the action is what should actually happen when this condition is met. That's simply trigger and automation, the simple words explanation. Hope you understand that. Now we are going to be automating our students table, right? According to this task, it says use the built-in Airtable automation when a record status is set to do and the due date has passed. Automatically what? Send the student an email with this message: hi name, putting their name, your task, putting their task title, has been started yet, has not been started yet, please begin as soon as possible. Now let's do the automation. Remember it says when a record status is set to what? To do, and the due date has what? Has passed. Did you see that? It has two conditions that must be met before you can do what? Send them what? An email. Now that is what we call automation, trigger and action, right? So you click on this trigger. What do you, if you look at, there are so many options. I told you that in Airtable what you can automate is limited. You can see that this is the only thing we are allowed to automate: calendar, Google Form, Google Sheet, Outlook email, Outlook calendar, then when a record matches condition, when a form is submitted, when a record is created, when a record is updated, down to when a button is clicked. These are just limited things you can automate in Airtable. So in our case, this task says when a status is set to do, and when the due date has passed. That means it has to match a condition, right? Exact. So we don't need any of this now. The first one is our trigger, when record matches conditions. How did we even decide that the first one is our trigger? Based on the task, it says when a status is in to do, shebi is a condition, remember. That means it cannot work until that status is in to do. So it's a condition. I hope you remember that. Exactly. So when record matches what condition is what you are going to be selecting. Look at, as usual, look at what it came out with. Left hand side is create new, meaning create a new automation, and find that automation. You can see the automation we just clicked on now. It is automatically named automation 1. If we have up to 3 automations here, all of them will be listed under this find an automation, right? You can click this to find any automation you've built that you are not seeing here. Now look at that 3 lines there is to collapse it. Are you seeing that? You see? Now that automations, you see off button here. This one is when we are done building, we can just toggle it and it will on. That means we are done with our automation. We now expect it to start working. Abi? Now look at that automation 1 there. That is the automation we just started. You can rename it to anything of your choice. Manage subscribers, edit the description, subscribe notification, copy automation URL, and that's it, right? Now if you want to do a second automation, we can just click on new to do one. So hope you understand that interface you are looking at. Now come back to the left hand side, the properties, trigger details. Trigger type is when what record matches condition that we selected. Now because we say when record matches condition, it automatically asks us for configuration. You can see that. And then the first thing we have to select is the table. Which table are we looking at to? Right? So when you click on select table, we only have one table in this base. So it's only one table we can select anyways, which is students. Click on it. And automatically it brought out condition. Remember this trigger type says when a record matches what? A condition. So we have now said in the student table, we are not telling the table that in the student table when a record in that student table matches a condition. That is why it's telling us to select the condition. Now first, click on add condition. Did you see what he brought out? He said when here you are seeing is automatic. You can't change it. It's from Airtable. It is this student's name, which is the field, all the columns or all the fields in our table based on what you want to refer to it as. If you click on it, you can see all the columns or all the fields we have in our table. That's it. And contents based on the condition and the value we want, right? So what are we even checking? We want to check when status, right? So we will select status as the field we are checking from. Is, you see that we can change is not, is any of, is none of, is empty or is not empty. So we want to check when status is. You see that, right? So that's what we want to check. So because it says when status due date has passed, we are going to be checking when status is yesterday. Because if it's today, that means the due date has not passed. But if it's yesterday, it means the due date has passed. I hope you remember. So we are going to be checking. Let's click on this select an option and see what happens. Okay, so sorry, that is the due date I've been explaining. Sorry. In status, we are checking when status is to do or in progress or done. So we check in to do. Sorry about that explanation. Now the second status or the second condition, it says and when due date has passed. Remember that. So you have to click on another condition and look at what you brought out. And if you click on that and, you can see and or. Now let me explain that because we will still explain it in this video. And or means the and is the two conditions you are going to give now must be true for your automation to run. The or means either of them can be true. If we use or now, it means even if the status is in to do or the due date has passed, send a mail. So the status can be in done, but the due date has passed. You still go and send them a mail and tell them that their task has not started. But if you use and, It means when the due date is in to do and the due date has not passed, it will not send the mail because the both of them is not true, right? Until the due date has passed and the status is in to do, it means the both of them is true. Now it will go ahead and do what? And send the mail. But if you use all, it means either of them can be true. And in the case of what you are doing, is risky because the status can be in to do and the due date has not even passed and it will go and send the mail because either of them can be true. So in this case, you are using what? And. What is the next field we want to check? Due dates. We want to check what? If it is yesterday or if it is before today. So let's say is. Let's click on is. See the things that is coming out. Is within, is before, is after, is on or before, is on or after. So we want to say is before today. If we say is, we can now select is yesterday. Right? So that means if the due date was yesterday, but it means that and even the due date was 1 week ago, that email will not send. Hope you know. So that's why we are going to say is before today. If it's before today, that means it's from yesterday downward, not upward again. Means even if the due date is 1 month ago, send them a mail. The due date is last week, send them a mail. Right? Hope you understand that logic. So I will be saying is before today. And our condition is set. If we want to add an extra condition, we will. But definitely, I'm not adding another condition. So it says choose record. Please do not mistakenly use suggested record. Reason is because if you use suggested record and maybe you mistakenly did not delete those rows I told you to always delete when they are empty, this Airtable will automatically choose the first row and maybe there is no data in there. Right? If there is no data in there, if you are fetching, maybe you want to collect email to send, it will keep telling you that this email is empty and you will not even know where your problem is coming from. And because of the way Airtable is built, not like an actual automation system, the other automation system, you have to delete this automation to go back, add data in that Airtable and then start the automation again. Airtable doesn't pick data that you added after you started the automation automatically. So click on choose record. See, we have only one column there. I think we have up to 3. It will show all those 3, both the empty ones. So we just select it and scroll down. You can see the step was successful. So it has tested this and it matches and it worked. It saw data. Everything was okay. Now what is the next thing? Our condition is here now. What is the next thing? An action. What should we do if this condition is true? Send a mail. Right? Click on add advanced logic or action. Now look at it. You have conditional logic. This is more like if you have paid, if you are already paid and you have upgraded your account. So maybe you have like want to give like 3 conditions and each of these conditions you want to do something in either of them. You can use conditional logic, repeating group. You want to do the same action on every item in a list. Then see this one for inside Airtable. You can decide to create a record when this condition matches. You can decide to update a particular record in a particular table. You can decide to find records, sort list, run script, generate with AI, or you can decide to send email using Airtable mail. The difference, the disadvantage of sending a mail using Airtable mail is this: if you use Airtable email, you cannot send email to any other person aside from the email you used to create this Airtable account. If you create a form and send to many people and tell them to fill the form, and when they fill that form, right, when they fill that form, they will not get a mail. Even Airtable will break, the automation will break, telling you that this person is not part of the collaborator. So you have to share, you have to click on this share to add their email and invite them as collaborators, and then they can use that email to fill your form. That's the only way this thing will work perfectly well. Fine. So that's why we don't use Airtable send email. You just scroll down and see Gmail. Click on send email, right? And you are good to go. Look at it, scroll up in this Gmail. See, action type is send email. Labels, description, you can just add your description. I don't usually add. You can add if you want to. Let me open that. Then the next thing is configuration, definitely. Action will run. So you have to select your Gmail account. If you click on it, you can see I already signed in a Gmail account. Now, if you haven't, it will tell you to connect a new Gmail account. And you just click on it, follow the steps. It brings this up. Then you select your Gmail, and just like that, you've signed in a new Gmail account. But I don't want to sign in a new one. I will just select the one I already have, which is Gmail account. Then the 2, who are you sending this email to? Please don't come here and start typing, right? Don't mind this, my grandma is always blocking space for me. Don't come inside and start typing. The two, you have to make it automatic, meaning that if you type it here, it means only, no matter the amount of people that fills your form or the amount of data you have in your data, right, in your table, it will only send the email to the person that you typed in their mail here. And that's not what we want. We want, let's assume it's a form that we filled, or we have 20 data in that record, in that table, right? We want to send email to each and every one of them separately. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Each of them will receive a mail, not one person receiving the email, right? So you click on this plus. Are you seeing is under? Are you seeing this? When record matches is in gray color, aside from these other ones, exactly. So inside here you can see this choose data here. Just scroll down, start looking for email. Look at email, click on it, and we are good. Now for subject, I always type my subject myself. So I will say testing Airtable, right? Now for the message, we have to go and copy the message in that task. It says hi so person, paste it. Now you can see the hi name. It means we should put the actual name of the person that filled the form, or the actual name of the person that is in that table, right? So for when it gets to that name part, what we do is give a space, click on this plus to go and actually collect their name. Remember, my cursor is after the hi, so scroll down, see student name. You can see there is a value under it. We have selected. For task title, we will delete it too. Exactly. Click on the plus again, scroll down, find task title, look at it there. Exactly. And just like that, we have configured our message. Look at what we just did now. Adding the variable name to our normal text is what we call concatenation. I'm getting to that, but just know that that is what we call concatenation, right? Now click on preview to see how the email will look like when you send it. You see what it says: hi Priska, your task register form has not been started yet, please begin as soon as possible. If you notice, between this register form there is no space between form and has. So if you come back here, look at it, it's because we did not give a space here. You see that there is space, right? So, and this is our automation. It is fully done. So whenever a record is in to do and the due date has passed, it will send them an email. So we have to just on it for it to start running automatically. And we have just started our automation. Now it will not just go and start processing the data we already have. It will not. So you just click on this plus, add the new data. Say princess, put in maybe the same email. I want to expand this. Just keep your cursor that it will change to that my icon. Drag it. So let me just copy the same email. Let me give it login form. Let me select the status as in to do. Let me make sure that the due date is not today. Let's say day before yesterday, and it has done. So let's check if our automation actually ran, or if it has actually triggered. Click on automation. Now look at this. Are you seeing history at the top? Test automation, see history, and it just ran successfully by 9:21. You can see the actual time here. It ran. So let's go to my mail. Maybe I should maybe I got the mail testing what Airtable, and that is how it works, right? Where are we? Where is my Airtable? Okay, so and that is how this automation work, right? You can try this out and tell me what the outcome is. Now we are going to be building a second project. I told you by the end of this video you are going to be a pro in Airtable. A second project is build a two table base in Airtable, student table and what payment table, link them together. When a new payment record is created and this status feed is set to confirm, automatically do what? Send the student an email. So we are just going to create another table called payment, and then we link them together, and we do what we call lookup feed to bring in the email of that student in our payment table. So we now do another automation to do what? Another automation to send email when the payment status is confirmed. So but before that, let me explain these things. Look at this. We have what we call formulas, and those formulas are roll-ups, if, and, or concatenate today and date add. Now that if is when you want to make a condition. If this is this, right? The and, as I've already explained to you, and or. Concatenate, I already said it earlier. Then today, if you notice when we were selecting is before yesterday or something, that date, you can see there was a today. That's what it is. It means today's date. Date add is when you want to add days in your dates. Now the roll up and the lookup feed is what you are going to be practicing now. Roll up feed is when you want to actually get, let's say you have two tables and you want to sum up the entire amount in the payment table and display it in the student table like an extra column. You use roll up feed. Now lookup feed is in the payment table. Like I told you, if you go to Airtable to do automation, once you select payment table in the trigger, you cannot use any other table. So if you want to send email to a student, if you have to bring their email to the payment table, that is after you have linked them. So you use lookup feed to collect that student's email down to where? To the payment table. That is how it works, right? Exactly. So that's how it works. Pulling data from linked tables. That's what that lookup feed is used for. And that aside, I've just explained these things. Let's dive in, create an extra payment table, and link this table together in less than 10 minutes. Alright, so let's click on plus as I told you how to create a table. Click on it. Start from scratch. Now you can see, let's name it payments. Click on save. So what are the columns we are going to have there? We didn't actually give us a column, but we can say the payment table should be, let's edit it. Let's say payments mode. Single line text is okay for the feed type. We can leave it. Let's edit this note and say maybe payment type, right? Or let's say payment reference. These are columns I'm coming up with my head and on my head. If you are bidding for a client, they will definitely give you the things they need you to store for them in the payment, so you can decide the column based on what they give you, right? Single line text, save. Another thing we need is edit feed. Let me just put in the status. We are okay with this. Payments status. Single select. The payment status is either going to be, where is the single select? See there. So the payment status is either going to be confirmed or pending. Confirmed. Add another option. Pending. Save. Now these other ones you can delete it. Alright, and we are good, right? So we are going to be I always tell you to delete this because it has really done or dealt with most of my students before. Alright, so with this now, we are good. So we are just going to link, there's a student email, right? We have to link these two tables together. And how do you do that? Come to if you want to link student table to payment table, you can do it in either of the tables though. But just click on this add feed here. You see, as usual, it's asking you to put feed type. Just scroll down. Okay, look at it here. Link to another record. This is what you use when you want to link two tables together. Don't forget. When you click on it, look at what it's saying. It's not giving you tables or create a new table. We have two tables, payment and student, and we are currently in the payment table. So we are going to select student table to link it into the payment table. Click on it. You see, it's not telling us to give it what? A name. So I will call it students data, right? And that's just it. That's how to link two tables together. Now click on create and we are done. This lookup feeds, I want to do it manually so you see how to do it. So we have just linked the student table to payment table. If you go to student now, you see payments. Are you seeing it? Now how do you see the data did not enter here? Shall you see? It doesn't happen automatically in Airtable. So you just have to come here, click on under this payment, that row there, click on it. See that blue icon? Look at it here. This one. Click on it. You see link to a payment. Look to a payment from payment. Click on it. You see the data? It has linked. This is unnamed because there is no data in payment. If you come to payment, you'll be seeing the name Priska. So if you say let's manually put in data, payment mode, let's say transfer, reference, we can put anything. Status, let's select confirmed. You can see when we go back to that place, it changes to transfer. It is just the name that is the first data here that will always be displaying in the linked, right? If we do it for this one too, we don't even have a second record in that one, so it will still be empty. You see that? Now we don't have the student email. If we go to automation now, right, it will need the student email to send a mail. Remember, we are going to be collecting the payment table to confirm this status, and we, after confirming the status, we cannot go and select student table again to send them a mail. Airtable will not allow that. The table you started with in the trigger is what you continue to use until that automation is done. So in the easiest way is to bring the student email to this payments table, so we can easily fetch the mail directly from the payment table. So click on the plus again, look for lookup feed, look up, look at it there. Are you seeing look up? Exactly, click on it. So what we want to collect is student email. You can say student email, and we are good. Click on create. A roll-up feed must be specified. Oh, we have to sell. Oh God. Okay, so this is the student table. After selecting the lookup feed, the name, look here, see here, select lookup source. You can see I selected student data, right, which is the column which I used to link the both of them. Now look at student feed. You must look up the student feed I actually want to pull inside this payment. Select it. Is the email I want to pull. So click on create, and you can see the email has automatically been pulled here, right? So if you don't do this link and make sure that the name that student data is reflecting here, like this place is not null, this email will not come up. Oh, just so you know. Now I want to bring in their name too. Click here, look up feed, their student, we want student's name, and we have to select the feed, which is student's name. Okay, if the name is the same thing, let's leave it as name so it doesn't confuse us. Click on create, and their name has appeared, and we are good. Now let's go back to our automation. So you can see we just linked table and added lookup feed in less than minutes. So click on automation. We already have an automation running, so we click on create new automation. Exactly, we are creating a new. You can see automatically give it the name automation 2. We can also rename it. Now click on trigger. The trigger is when the payment status is confirmed. So it's still when the record matches condition, because it's the condition we are checking. Okay, so as usual, configuration, select the table we want to look up. Yeah, we want to start the condition or the automation for payment table. Now add your condition when payment status is confirmed. That's what we want. Now choose record. Choose record. Remember that, choose your record. It's already giving you something. Click on it, and it has tested it successfully. Now click on add advanced logic, and scroll down to sending them an email. Use Gmail, please. Click on Gmail, and this is it. We are here. So select your Gmail account or sign in. I select mine. The two, who are we sending the email to? Click on it. Now remember, we are still here. Now scroll down to that student email you pulled up. Click here, see the value. Remember that when you click on it, you can see this length, make a new list, linked record, value. Remember to click on value. Now that is the student email. It means it's not empty. For subject, I will give it testing second automation. Now for the message, let's copy the message. It says hi. You can say Okay, so the name, we delete the name. Remember, we click on this plus to get the name. That is the actual name. We want to make it personalized. Seed name. Remember, that is what we named it in the payment now. Click on this arrow here. Are you seeing the value? Remember to click on the value. Don't come to do automation if and if there is no name, actual name showing in that your table. Make sure that it is. Fix that first. Now for the amount is already in the, oh, we did not add amount in our payment table. Okay, so we can just remove the amount, or we can just add it manually. Your payment of 200, right? So we were adding columns, we did not add amount. We only added payment mode, payment status, and payment reference, right? So we can just leave it like that, and let's generate the preview. It's testing, it's generating. All right, so maybe I think it's network that is messing us up, but that is just the thing on this Airtable. And then once it's done, we can just click on run it, and you add in a new data. Make sure it's linked to the second record, and just like that you are good, right? So this is the end of our automation in Airtable class, Airtable for beginners. So I believe if you watch this video from the beginning till now, you should be a pro by now in Airtable. You should know your way in and out, right, in Airtable. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for being in our channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you.